In this video, I'm going to show you what is the best value PC build in 2022. I'm going to do an unboxing of each of the parts and also put them together. So the parts I'm going to be using are for the CPU, the RYZEN 5600X. For the GPU, we have the RTX 3070. For the motherboard, we have the B550A Pro from MSI. The RAM is just a standard Corsair Vengeance 16GB with 3200 MHz memory speed. For the power supply, I went with a fully modular EVGA 750 bronze. And finally, the case is a Corsair 220T, which includes 3 RGB fans, so you won't need to buy any extra. Alright, so let's start with the unboxing of the motherboard. So in the box we have the motherboard itself, the IO shield, a CD with the drivers, and 2 SATA cables. So this motherboard supports 3rd gen CPUs like the RYZEN 5600X that I will use later. It also supports up to 128 GB of RAM with a speed of 4400 MHz, which is perfect for the RAM I selected. The design of this motherboard is very nice because it's mostly black with gray touches like the lines that go through the board. Unfortunately, this motherboard doesn't have any Wi-Fi, so you'll have to use an adapter to add it. There's also 7 USB ports, an Ethernet port, and a USB Type-C if you need it. Now for the CPU, we have the 5600X. This CPU is one of the best value for the price, and it works well with the RTX 3070 in this build. Unfortunately, this CPU doesn't have any integrated graphics, so you'll have to buy a graphics card if you want to use it. Otherwise, a good alternative that has integrated graphics would be the 5600G. Also, this CPU comes with a fan with pre-installed thermal paste. And so far during gaming, the CPU has remained at good temperatures, but when I tried mining, the temperature went to like 85 or 90 degrees, which is bad and could damage it. So in that case, you should get another cooler. Next we can install the RAM. So these RAM sticks don't have anything special like RGB lights, but they have a good performance and are a good value for the price. Now for the case, we have the 220T RGB Corsair mid-tower case. This case is compact and easy for transport. The RGB fans on the front are nice and you can customize them with the Corsair software. So now for the power supply, I went with a 750 watt power supply, which should be enough to power the RTX 3070 and the RYZEN 5600X. This one is also a fully modular power supply, although it's not necessary, and if you can find a semi-modular or non-modular, you should be fine too. So now for the most interesting part, we have the RTX 3070 from Asus, which is going to be able to play all the new games at highest settings and maintain a good frame rate. It's also going to be good to play competitive games like Valorant or Fortnite at high frame rate, which should give you a competitive advantage, especially if you pair it with a high refresh rate monitor. It's also really good for editing videos with fast rendering times, as well as while editing there is no lag when scrubbing through the timeline. You can also use it for mining while you're not using your computer, and you'll make a little bit of passive income. PC is done. Let's see the first boot. And there you go, it works. Alright, let's try gaming a little bit. So here is Valorant. As you can see, there is like 400, 500 FPS. Maybe it's dropped a little bit because I'm recording at the same time. Alright, so thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll leave the parts required for this build in the description if you want to build this PC, and I'll see you in the next video.